Well guys, get a phone call. Apparently somebody set one of my field's corn on fire. So we're, I don't know, running towards corn with the only thing we had that's even close is this Kubota with a rototiller on it. And I don't know. The Landau, it's a ways away, but its hazards are not working on it. And I don't think we got it, and I don't have any other tillage tools hooked up. I got no other tillage tools hooked up. We also don't have a bucket on the front of this because we don't have a bucket for it right now. They're all everywhere else. Whoa! Might have about lost the tiller off the back too, off that one. Stay tuned. Yeah, they burned the shit out of this. Looks like they might have gotten it out. Molly and I are back here this morning. We're gonna go see what damage has been done. Tell you kind of how or what happened, or how everything that's happened so far is. I don't know what I said to you last night on the video. I got home last night and I get a phone call about 8:30 or so, and someone says your cornfield's on fire, and my brain had shut down for the day, and it like took a second for it to register that, what do you mean my cornfield's on fire? And they said, well, your cornfield's on fire. So I got into a car, rushed over here, called my dad on the way over to try and get like the Landau vertical tillage tool out here. I didn't know how bad it was. I didn't know what field it was in. Luckily, the patch that we're in right now is like 13-14 acres. Across the road's like a 70-80 acre patch. And well, we'll get out here.
Not to make light of the situation, but it straight up smells like popcorn out here.
Yeah, burnt popcorn.
It smells like burnt popcorn.
So I showed up, rolled in, this thing was on fire. Before we jump into like looking at the damage, I want to say thank you to the local fire departments. I think Russell was here, Corden was here, I think Seymour even showed up, and maybe one more person. And by the time I got here, turned around, called Andrew to go get this Kubota, because it's the only thing that was around with a rototiller on the back of it to try and stop the fire. By the time I got back, they blazed their trucks through here and pushed this fire out. So apparently this is not the first corn fire that they've had this year. It's apparently like their 5th or something like that, which is odd to me. I don't know what's happened here. I don't know. Nobody knew that was out here. There's actually a development that's kind of like a summer deal that's behind this field, and people were hooting and hollering, having a good time, like watching the fire last night, which we'll talk about in a second. But this is what the burnt corn looks like. Most of the ears are now on the ground. Some of them aren't. There's a storm coming tonight, so what's not on the ground will probably be on the ground, because I got a feeling that they're not held on by much, and the singed stalks aren't going to be holding on very well. So yeah, thank you to the fire departments for doing an awesome job and getting out here first thing. I don't know if I should harvest the corn that's been on fire, because it's technically damaged corn. I wouldn't want to blend that in with good corn and try and sell it. Maybe I can harvest it and then try and sell it to a cattle guy. Roasted corn, heck, the cows might eat it better, you know. So a couple of things that we've heard that might have happened is that one guy said that he thought he saw like a Chinese lantern floating around. Maybe, you know, maybe a Chinese lantern. I honestly thought it was somebody, you know, up in the development with a bonfire along here that caught this on fire. You know, I guess Molly watches a lot of detective shows, and one thing that they always say is don't believe in coincidences. And the fact that there's a housing development right there and it burned just below the housing development, that's a pretty big coincidence. My guess, somebody in there caught my field on fire. Will I ever find out who it is? Probably not. If I found out who it is, could I recoup any funds from them? Probably not, because unless they're a good Samaritan and says, oh, I screwed up or whatever, they aren't going to want to come pay for this. And it just shows a little bit of a disconnect. You know, I didn't start my YouTube channel to be an advocate or whatever. The way that I advocate, I always said that it's like my YouTube channel wanted to show like younger generations like me that are getting into farming, which I don't know how many years have I been YouTubing? Four or five. So, you know, I started when I was 25. I'm 30 now. And that was how I advocated, just saying, hey, the younger guys can get some stuff done. That's been basically the focus of my whole channel this entire time, and it'll be continued to be that. But there are some good advocate people out there, and in my mind, it's like, how can there be such a big disconnect in between the farmers and then the general public? And last night, you know, when the firefighters were here and people were having a good time, and there's nothing wrong with that by any means, you know, but heck, they were, you know, interested in the fire truck, and they were spraying the water out here onto this corn, like using the fire hose, just spraying it out on my crop. I've had issues with people actually driving out in this field. Where I'm going with this is that most people, I think people just look at it and they're like, well, it's just corn, right? You know, it's just corn. But we'll fly the drone and see how much damage happened. I'm guessing 4 acres got burned, so it could have been way worse. By the people's attitudes last night is that they were enjoying themselves. They thought that this was kind of like an entertaining thing, in a roundabout way. And it's like all they see on fire is like corn, you know. But what maybe the disconnect is that this is what we make a living on, you know, is that if it was somebody's house that was on fire, there'd be an investigation going on. If it was somebody's car that was on fire, there'd be an investigation going on. You know, if in simple terms, say you own a business and you have a warehouse and your warehouse catches on fire and your product is all gone. That's what the corn is for us. But our warehouse is a field, and yeah, so probably lost 3,000 to 5,000 in this one, I'm guessing. I got to figure out what to do with the insurance deal. If I got to get them out here to do this, I got to figure out what to do with the corn. Like I said, I won't get any of this money back. It could have been way worse, but yeah, you know, Yeah, so looks like the drone would probably say somewhere around that 3 acres. So 2 to 3 acres. Out some money here. Fire department's wall probably send me a bill too, which I'll pay, you know, because they saved the rest of this field. But somebody out there, with their neglect, ended up costing me probably a couple $1,000s. So, you know, but hey, it's just a cornfield to them, right? You know, that's just the way that goes. But if you guys happen to know anything about dealing with corn that's damaged like this, let me know in the comment section below. Any input would be greatly appreciated. But it is what it is. So harvest vlogs will be coming. I was actually working on the first one when I got the phone calls about this last night, so that got put on hold. And I figured I'd push you guys out this video really quick. So, you got any words, man?
Because somebody just really likes the smell of burnt popcorn, which is a little messed up.
Yeah. Well, we'll get back to work. We'll continue onwards. Life goes on. Things like this happen. We'll see you guys in the next one.